I made a grave mistake. The kind that cannot be fixed.
Don't give up, Farhad pleaded. Stay with me. Farhad cradled her in his arms, as if she were made of porcelain, and he saw something wonderful, the slight rise and fall of her chest. I will take you home, princess, Farhad whispered. The rain ran down his craggy face in rivulets, masking his tears. Perhaps you do not love me, he said, sobbing. But I fought a mountain for you, and I put trusting friends in harm's way. And selfish as it may be, I would do it all again. As Farhad walked, Shirin started murmuring. Farhad leaned close. She whispered but a single word. Khosrow. Suddenly, it all made sense to Farhad. The stone carving. The two were the perfect couple. The king of Persia and the princess of Armenia. How could a lowly sculpture question such a union? Suddenly, Farhad ground his teeth as a great fury washed over him. Not at Shirin, or even Khosrow, but at himself. What was I thinking? How could a princess love someone like me? But it doesn't do to wallow in self-loathing. And other questions wormed their way through Farhad's anger. If not Shirin, then who does the whisper belong to? How could he defeat Bistun and enter the fortress of oblivion? Why even try now? Farhad was ashamed by his selfish musings. What happened to Anahita? He thought. Does she need my help? Lost in his wretched thoughts, Farhad nearly failed to notice something alarming. Shirin's dainty feet were turning gray. I can't feel my legs, Shirin mumbled. Shh, be at peace, Farhad reassured her. You will be all right, as Anahita was. Shirin furrowed her brow. Anahita? Farhad swallowed and drew in a deep breath. She is your guardian. She risked everything to help me. He trailed off with a hoarse croak. I should check the rift is still sealed, Farhad thought, recalling the memory stone. What does the statue hold? Greetings, Farhad. My sources tell me you are a man of your word. Perhaps I should be impressed, but reports of your engravings give me cause to question your sanity. I had thought that when Princess Shirin herself revealed that she does not return your love, you would cease your efforts. If you must persist, so be it. I will not stand in your way. Just remember that I require complete, unhindered passage through Mount Bistun. Only then will I grant you your wish. Know that I have sent my best horsemen to bring the princess home. In the meantime, you are responsible for her safety. Your king, Khosrow. Something about Khosrow's tone set Farhad on edge. When the riders came, he decided to be absent. My lady, Farhad began, forgive me. I could sit here by your side for 100 years, and the gentle rise and fall of your chest alone would sustain me. Farhad swallowed a sob. But I cannot stay. Anahita, the one I mentioned. I must find her, but do not be afraid. The king's men approach like thunder. You will be safe with them. Safer than you ever will be with me. And with that, he gently kissed his love on the forehead and resigned himself to never seeing her again. Princess Shirin traveled here alone. Farhad tried to reassure himself. Harm will not befall her. The choice was a difficult one, but Farhad could not abandon his friend. After all, both he and Shirin owed Anahita their lives. And while a broken heart may ache for years, death happens but once. Perhaps Anahita's last temple would suggest her whereabouts. subtly meant. Khosrow's letter was condescending, haughty, oppressive. Shirin would no doubt be safe with the king, but at what cost? Farhad had failed to ring the giant bell in the battle against Bistun. If I had been able, he thought, perhaps Anahita would still be here. As Farhad stared at the smooth, gray stone of Shirin's statue, her foot, her skin was turning to stone. A memory stirred as Farhad stared at the smooth, gray her foot. Of course, Khosrow's letter had alluded to something else. An agreement between Farhad and the king. Why does he want passage through Mount Bistun? Farhad wondered. And what wish does he speak of? Could it be Shirin? The thought angered Farhad. The princess was not a prize to be awarded. feared the worst. The Div was mighty and terrifying. And if Anahita had overcome it, why hadn't she returned? When night falls, I could return for this, Farhad thought. Khosrow was not the solution to Farhad's problems. Bistun caused the blight, and no Div would bow to a king, no matter how powerful. She will be back in her castle now, Farhad tried to convince himself. All this will be behind her. Battled within Farhad, but resolve overcame both. This time, he knew what had to be done. Visit a strange place often enough, and it soon loses its mystique. But this was the memory stored within all Seed's heart. A story Farhad needed to know. What is this for? Farhad wondered. Stone shattered. Molten iron flowed, hot and angry. Farhad scoured his memories for all Seed's last words. To kill a mountain, build something new. The mountain was clear, but build what? Why would all saints have a memory of a smithy? Farhad thought. After all, fire and trees do not usually well mix. The sledgehammer was huge and heavy, but Farhad carried it with ease. As he rounded the corner in the floating path, a gasp escaped Farhad's lips. Shattered remnants of his friend hung suspended in the air, unmoving, cold, lifeless. For whom the bell tolls, Dave, Farhad shouted into the darkness. It tolls for thee! The bell's mighty peal rent the air, sending Bistun crashing to the floor. Ask for whom the bell tolls, Dave. Farhad shouted into the darkness. It tolls for thee! The bell's mighty peal rent the air, sending Bistun crashing to the floor. This is for my friends, Farhad cried. ask for whom the bell tolls, Dave. Farhad shouted into the darkness. It tolls for thee! The bell's mighty peal rent the air, sending Bistun crashing to the floor. This is for my friends, Farhad cried. For whom the bell tolls, Steve, Farhad shouted into the darkness. It tolls for thee! The bell's mighty peal rent the air, sending Bistun crashing to the floor.
This is for my friends!
Farhad cried.
Farhad shouted into the darkness. It tolls for thee!
The bell's mighty peal rent the air, sending Bistun crashing to the floor.
This is for my friends!
Farhad cried.
I cannot hope to harm it yet. But most of all, for me! And with the last mighty blow, the Deve's crimson eye winked out. The storm within Farhad's heart rivaled the one that rent the dark skies. Bistun was defeated, but at such cost. He felt more alone than he had ever felt before. For the first time since he awoke on Mount Bistun, his path was clear, but he had no one to share the news with. Princess Shirin would be resting in Khosrow's quarters. Farhad, what have you done? What vile sickness did you expose my love to? You have no reason to dig through the mountain any longer. Princess Shirin is dead. Your king, Khosrow. This world could no longer offer him anything. But death had not ended Farhad's journey before, and it was not about to now. Instead, Farhad drew ever closer to answers. The final steps on the path laid out before him, the path that ended in the realm of forgotten memories. The fortress of oblivion awaited him, and Farhad thought of all those who had played their part in getting him here. All seeds, with his wisdom and kind heart. Majestic Anahita, so dedicated to atoning for her greatest mistake. The beautiful princess, always out of reach. And the king, who had treated him with such disdain, but none of them mattered anymore. The whisper called to him. I called to him. Fear and foreboding chilled Farhad as he walked amongst the horrors. Exiled and forgotten people, ensnared by the blight, trapped in endless suffering, their silent screams frozen in their gullets.
Years. Decades. For how long I had called him to me, I cannot say. My voice gave out. But still, I cried out across the realms. Unimaginable agonies racked my body. Yet I never sought refuge in insanity. The wound that never heals reminded me of my mortality and my purpose. I looked into Farhad's eyes and saw his pain and confusion. But even then, I saw a flicker of something else. Was it relief? Words eluded him, however. So I explained everything. I told him my name is Nizami. I was a blacksmith by day and a storyteller by night. I was banished by King Khosrow, exiled unjustly. On Mount Bistun, I was mortally wounded, but saved by the most wondrous fruit and guided by a talking tree. Then I discovered an otherworldly domain, a realm of forgotten souls. But the Div found me. I was imprisoned in the fortress of oblivion, doomed to be forgotten, teetering on the edge of oblivion. Agony poured from my wound and took form. You, Farhad, are created out of my pain, out of my wound, I told him. You are the manifestation of hope, the embodiment of purpose. I had lost count of the number of times Farhad had reached my prison, but each time he had refused my plea, refused to set me free. I knew the choice was grim, but I had to prevail. My story is not yet complete, and so I gave him a choice. Liberate me, or abandon me once more. The path to the left was where he should engrave the wise decision to set me free. Or he could add to the cruel records of abandonment to the right. You lie, Farhad said, his hands trembling. But I knew he did not believe his own words. It is just human nature to question that which explains all. Farhad seized his head and yelled, "Tell me the truth!" "Calm yourself, Farhad," I said in a soothing tone. "Do not let anger confuse your thoughts. We are one," I repeated. "I feel every pain that you do. But the difference," I told him, "is that my pain never dwindles. The moments of serenity as dusk falls, the sense of triumph when a fearsome foe has been vanquished. You experience these things and more," I said. "I have only pain. And when you faltered, and my agony was too much to bear, you were reborn from my wound. With my words." Farhad recalled his visions of leaving the fortress alone. "Look at me, Farhad," I implored. "You do not realize how special you are. You are a part of me, but more than I could ever be." I knew his uncertainty, but I explained that, unlike me, he has a choice: to free me
or make the mistake of abandoning me again. To embrace the rare gift that I have offered, meaningful purpose, or shun it. This time, I resorted to honesty to convince Farhad to release me. If he rescued this poor old man, his creator, from a life of torture, I promised to continue my journey. I would seek out the source of the blight afflicting nature, the reason behind the chaos that sweeps through Persia, and destroy it. But sadly, there was a catch. To leave my unnatural shackles empty would draw unwanted attention. Farhad would have to take my place. At this, the sculptor growled and turned his head. "Wait," I implored. "You do not understand." I told him how this sacrifice would give his life meaning. After all, it was his purpose. It was what he was created for. The only way he could escape the cycle. And I promised that when my quest was complete, I would come back to return the favor. Farhad's uncertainty was written on his face. So I warned him against abandoning me again. "You only prolong the bitter cycle," I told him. "You will lose your memories once more. Your destiny is not one of futility and confusion." And I told him that I would keep calling him, and he would come. "Is that what you want?" I asked. "To go through all the heartache you have endured yet again?" But I could not force him to see reason. If he would leave me again, I promised to send him away from this place. I would show him how to use the memory stone within his head to leave the fortress of oblivion. But what would he be escaping for? Endless wandering? Repetition without purpose? "Why should I not just leave you and break the cycle myself?" Farhad said. I sighed. "Because I cannot let you while my purpose remains unfulfilled. But when I have completed my quest and set you free," I said, "your engravings will guide you. Each memory you retrieve from the Revelations realm will motivate you to go on. But most of all," I told him, "because love burns in your heart." A shadow darkened Farhad's face. His eyes dropped. "Yes, but it burns for one who no longer walks this earth," he said. "Thanks to my actions." I smiled and told him that he had said the same thing before. Khosrow lies. I hissed. Princess Shirin lives. Farhad furrowed his brow. I could feel his confusion. Why reveal that? He said. If true, you know I will abandon you. I sighed and told him that I understood the risk, but I had lied to him before, unjustly, and he deserved to know the truth. This time, I resorted to honesty to convince Farhad to release me. If he I would seek out the source of the reason and destroy it. But sadly, to leave my Farhad at this. Wait! I told him it was what he and I You have made the right decision, I told him. Before I left, Farhad asked me if his sacrifice would be worth it. There is no greater blessing than having purpose, I told him. No worse pain than having it denied. I promised I would not rest until I had stopped the sickness afflicting nature. I would rescue other poor, imprisoned souls and face the threats before me with the courage that Farhad had shown. Tamavand, I called. Let your fires light my way.
بیاورد ضحاک را چون نبند، به کوه دماوند کردش ببند. به کوه اندرون تنگ جایش گزید، نگه کرد قاریبانش ناپدید. بیاورد مسمارهای گران، به جایی که مغزش نبودن در آن. فرو بست دستش بر آن کوه باز، بدان تا بماند به سختی دراز. ببستش بر آن گونه آویخته، از او خون دل بر زمین ریخته. از او نام ضحاک چون خاک شد، جهان از بل او همه پاک شد.